this year to do this. It was at first, my wife looked at me and said, he didn't answer. We finally decided that we'll give it a try, and with the circumstances, which I guess we don't want to get into here, we decided to give it a whirl. So we are here, and we had fun. Riff, my assistant coach, I'm going to turn it over. The rest of the thing's going to be up to him. No. The first thing I want to go over is why Coleman gets all the credit. What's that all about?
He rode the bus with me.
I'm sitting down there, I'm thinking I'm going to get this big speech, and all of a sudden it goes off on Tom Coleman. So I think I'll talk in this direction. Tom Coleman gets all the credit. Loss is. No, it's definitely a challenge, and you know, we had a lot of things going. But the first things first, I got to take care of a couple of things. See, I've been doing this for years, and as some of the guys know, and a lot of you people know, I've done it at the travel level. And whenever you get around a group of parents, it's always important to make sure you cover your back. So this year, I decided before I get started, I'm going to pick a guy from the team just to stand up here and make sure I don't get any thrown at me, any parents attacking the stage. And I picked the right guy. We have a tough guy on our team, okay? I don't know if you guys over on the JV side have one of those guys, but we got one. His name is Charlie Leemick. And before you guys start laughing, me and Chuck had a good time this year, and he is a tough guy. We had a little thing. Chuck, come on up here. It's important. And you stand right about here. Most of the varsity people are on this side. Now, you look at that guy. He doesn't look very mean. And I remember talking to his dad, and his dad saying to me, you can't rattle this guy. And I said, well, maybe he's right. But it's worth a shot. You know, you never know. Maybe I can get under his skin a little bit. Me and Chuck had a little deal during practice that if he wasn't tough enough, what were we going to do, Chuck? Okay, Chuck. Chuck, I couldn't come up with a polka dotted dress, and I want you to know I'm just borrowing this. My wife will kill me. But if you don't mind, during this session, I wouldn't mind if you just slip this on here. Be very careful with that. My wife says to me, that's a Blues Claiborne, I want that back. That looks great, Chuck.
The right color.
Now, you're there to guard me the rest of the time, Chuck, so do a good job of it, all right? You can sit out there. You know, I was got there about a couple days into it, and this guy says, Coach, come here, I want to talk to you for a second. I'm thinking, oh boy, here it is, a parent. I'm thinking, this is going to be good, right? Parent, first, second day, he's already on me. This guy kind of waves me over. He says, come here. He gets me over the corner. He goes, I just want you to know something. This was just before a game. He says, I'm trying to get these guys used to running the clock, so I don't have to do it anymore. And they're rookies. So just be patient with them. I don't know how good they're going to be. I'm about the only guy that can run the clock. JV team has 4 or 5 guys, was it, that you have can run the clock? This guy was the only guy we had that could run the clock. And I'm sitting there going, geez, you know, before a game, why is this guy telling me this? So I looked at him and said, all right, he comes over and he gives me this little speech, don't get uptight, don't get uptight. I said, Tom, why are you saying about all these people? This is, you know, I'm sure they can handle it. So we get in about, I don't know how many games, 4 or 5 games into the season. And as many of you have already figured out, I'm a pretty intense guy. Nobody kind of slips by for me. We're standing there, and I think we were winning our first game, or maybe our second game that I was coaching anyways. And I look up at the clock, and it was in the 3rd period, if I'm not mistaken, am I right? And the clock's not running. And we're up by a goal or 2, and I'm just like, wait a second here. So I decided to scream down the bench, and I think it was Joe Host and Gary Bates. So I got a little something special for you guys. Come on. This, guys, is a stopwatch. Now, I know Joe is done this season, but Gary is a rookie. So during the rest of my speech, if you don't mind, these guys are going to stand up here, and every time I stop talking, they're going to hit the switch. When I start talking, they hit the switch again. Any mistakes? You're out of here. Here you go, guys. I don't even know if it works. So it's nice to hear that next year you got a few guys that can run the clock. That's more than we can say. Of course, Tom might come back and help us out since he does everything. I'm not quite done yet. Are you sure? You know, just stay tuned. Me and Riff, you know, two guys, we're pretty young guys, you know, and I've been doing this for a long time. Now, how many people in here have been to a hockey rink? I want everybody to raise their hand if they've been to hockey. I hope that everybody will raise their hand. Okay, now, if I could have some help up here. You hold this one? Okay. Now, can you hold this one? Now, what I want to know, if you were going to a hockey rink, would you wear A or would you wear B? Okay? We have an athletic director here that probably got word back that I'm a slob, which he was pretty much right on that. After John Tenay asked me 3 or 4 times if he could dress me every game, if he could get rid of my hat, all of a sudden, one of these games, me and Riff are handed A. And me and Riff looked at each other. We're saying, okay, now what do I do with this? And I'm thinking, Riff, this isn't even lined. And he's like, yeah, what are we supposed to do with it? I said, well, I'd like to wear it, but I think I'm going to freeze out there. So I guess word got back to Mark. And Mark, of course, was joking. All nice things were said. And all of a sudden, B came. And we were so pleased. And we were warm, and we enjoyed it. So Mark, in the future, B. I couldn't leave you out. I haven't done it yet. Well, you know, now to get to the serious stuff here. No more joking around. First thing I want to do is, I guess, thank you guys for putting up with me, which I really don't mean, but thank you anyways. But I really want to thank my wife for allowing me to do this, and I appreciated her allowing me to go, and my kids who sacrificed. I kind of love doing this. This is like a bad habit for me. A lot of people, they drag themselves to the rink. As my wife will attest, I love this stuff. I mean, I live for it. Unfortunately, I got 3 little ones, and sometimes you got to set your priorities right. So, thank you. For those of you who haven't met my wife, it's Faith there. So I did introduce her. Taking this job, it was definitely a challenge. You know, when they called me, my name got around through one of the parents who will remain nameless at this point in time. Hopefully he's got a stopwatch working on it. Anyways, the first thing I thought to myself is, oh boy. They told me about this story. And I thought, at first it was, I don't know if this would be good. It was mostly a timing thing where, did I have time to commit to it? But after we got into it and we talked about it, we said, what the heck, we'll give it a whirl and see how it goes. And I talked to Mark, who I think you guys are very fortunate to have Mark. I really do. He's a great guy. He's a first-class guy. Just talking to him the few times I have, you're very fortunate to have a guy like that. Athletic directors are tough to find, and it's a horrible job. They get no credit. It's usually a lot of slack, and I'm sure Mark heard a few things about me there, so we'll talk about later. I'm not bring them up right now. But it was exciting, and the main reason I do it is just because I love kids. Period. That's it. I'm not much into winning. I'll be honest with you, I've coached teams where we won a lot of games. I mean, a ton of games, and we were very successful. But the funnest time is just spending with the kids and getting to know them. You know, you look out here. You look out here, like I was saying, and you know, you got so many different personalities, and that makes it very, very challenging. And I think that's what's exciting to me is when I come here and I get to see all these different personalities, and I just take them on one at a time and learn about them and how they work and what makes them click and what makes them do other things, like Pat Host. But we'll get to him later. But it was just it was a neat opportunity, and I enjoyed it. These guys accepted me in. They accepted me in. I won't say if it's good or bad. Actually, I think the guys fell in love with me after the first practice. No. I really do. I think these guys loved me after the first practice. As a matter of fact, our goalie came up to me, and he told me about his lazy donkey he has in front of the whole team, and that he thought he was a lazy donkey, and I might have thought he was a lazy donkey, but he really wasn't, and that he would do anything I said. Then the assistant coach, I think, looked at me a little funny, and I don't think he really cared for me too much. I'm batting pretty good. This is only the first practice, so you can imagine, huh? Coach? Nice, huh? And then Pat Host. He made sure that I knew that he thought I was number one in his book. This was the first practice. Actually, it was a lot of fun. And shortly thereafter, I think they all caught on. Now, you got to understand why this all took place. I walked in, I came to the first meeting. I told them, I said, hey, let's just give it a whirl. We really don't have to sit there and chit-chat. Mark brought me in, he's introduced me, he says, Coach, you have anything to say? I said, I don't really have anything to say, let's just get on with this. We went out, we practiced, we went through probably a harder practice than they're accustomed to. Afterwards, see, I have this philosophy that you play hard, you go out, you have an intense work ethic, and good things will happen. I don't care if you're good, bad, or indifferent, you'll be better. And after practice, we decided that we were going to do a little workout. Now, during our interview, they said that we could use the weight room. And I kind of giggled because these guys never got to experience one of my practices. And I said, oh, that's a great idea. I think I can figure something out for these guys. So after practice, we started out with a mere 200 push-ups, which didn't go over real well, as you can imagine. But the guys quickly figured out that this is the way it was, and I think after a while they decided that, you know, we'll just go along with this guy. I don't think he's going anywhere. I know each one of them went into Mark after that and said, thank you for getting me such a good coach. But it was good. It was really truly a great experience. It has to rank right up there. A lot of coaches come up here and say, oh, this is the greatest group of kids I've ever worked with. I can't say that. They were the second best. No, they were actually a really big group of kids. The problem you have in high school hockey, and this coach was up here talking about, is you have a diverse range of talent levels. And as a coach, that makes it very, very challenging. When you come to practice, you don't know whether or not you should be working on A, B, C, or D, because each kid is different. So every time we went to practice, you never knew exactly how to attack this. And it does make it challenging. I'm sure the coach, you know, he can attest to that. You've got a wide range. You can't go and work on a practice scheme that is at this level, and you have guys that can't even stand up or skate. At the varsity level, we were no different. We had guys at every range, and as a coach, that makes it very challenging because you've got to keep the other kids motivated, yet you've got to keep pushing on. And I think most of the guys caught on to that. The biggest thing that I would like to see the program develop is more of an intense environment, and that's, I think, what I've tried to bring to it. I think most of the guys caught on to that, and towards the end of the season, really, brought that to the game, tried hard and worked hard. I got notes. You did this without notes, that was impressive.
But I didn't have any crap.
I had one up there. Coleman warned me. He sent me an email. Just make sure you're funny. He said I'm not funny. To me, the way I determine success is just that if we come to the game and we have a good, intense environment. And for the most part, we did that. You got to remember, I'm a guy that walked in, I think, mid-December, and had 2.5 months of these guys, so it's tough to do. It's hard to get guys going in the same direction in that period of time. I think we did a pretty good job of it. I think there's a long ways to go. The nice thing about it is you have a great group of kids coming back. And I think they'll definitely take over where they left off and continue that intense environment. I'm sure after every practice we'll be doing at least 300 or 400 push-ups. Right? Yeah.
Come on, seniors.
I'm not a guy that comes up here and talks a lot about records. I never have, and I can say that even going back to when we had really good seasons. And I can remember one year, the first year I coached. My wife will laugh. We were 2-42. Okay. To this day, it was the closest group I think I've ever coached. And I think she would agree with that. We had more fun. We just had a great time. Every one of those kids at the end of the season wanted to play again. Every one of them. And without a question, everyone was excited about coming back next year. And that's what I hope these guys are. I hope that the babies are the same way. And they can't wait till next year to get back into it and get it going. And if they leave with that, whether they're 2-42 or they're 40-2, because I've had both, they walk out that last day and they say, I can't wait till I come back to do it again, and to go to work and practice hard and play hard. That is the success right there. And I think that's important as you guys develop your program down the way, that you keep that in mind. It's not about winning, okay? There's a coach out there that he's developing a good program, he's working hard. I heard you say it was one of your best seasons. That's great. That's progress. And that's what it takes. You've got to stick with it. You got to have a positive attitude. Negativism will kill any program. And you can't allow that to happen. And I think that's what I try to instill in these guys, and they'll attest to it, I guarantee, during some of our locker room conversations, that you've got to come out with an intense level of play and take it seriously. And I think towards the end of the season, most of them did it. So that was good. I'm not big on stats either. The first time I've seen our stats was tonight. I don't know who our leading scorer was. I could guess, but I'm not sure. To be quite frank with you, I really don't think it's important. I think every one of those guys sit down there played a role. And, some of them played a little bit more of a role. Some of them sat on the bench a lot. That's the way it is. That's life. And, we did the best we could with our team, but every one of them played a role on this team, and that was good. I think we developed a good chemistry towards the end of the season. I think it took time. I sensed when I came into the program that there was some negativism. I think towards the end we got rid of most of that, and that was good. I think going into next year, we got a very good thing going. I think if we can develop a little bit more, from the sounds of it, you guys have some good players. We had a few of the JV guys come up. They love the push-ups too. Remember Guppy, he wanted to do more after practice. He came up to me. He says, Coach, would you mind if I do another 100? I said, sure, but I'm not going to stay here for it. And Eli, poor Eli would sit down there and he didn't know what to do. He should do the push-ups or he shouldn't. And he'd always hide way down at the end. And if I had a bad practice, I always made sure he did them. But we appreciate Eli coming out, and I hope you benefit from that. I remember coming in, one of the guys saying to me, and I think it pretty much says it all about this team. He says to me, Coach, he says, we're not really all that great, but we play with a lot of heart. And I think there's absolutely right. These are a great group of kids, and I mean that. I really do. They are a good group of kids. And I think that says it all. They played with a lot of heart. They did everything they could with the talent level they had. And I think there's a lot of games where we played competitive because we worked hard. Also want to thank the parents. A lot of these times when these things goes by, I think every one of you guys should be proud of your kids here. Whether they sit down, their heads down like they are right now, staring at their hockey pucks and their things. You should be very, very proud of these guys. They are a wonderful group of kids. And I got to know every one of them as good as I could in 2.5 months. And without a doubt, they were a very, very good group of kids. So that you should be very proud of them. On the other hand, as players, you should thank your parents for supporting you guys. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of kids out there that don't have that support, and you know, they go in a lot of different directions than you guys. So if they come to your game and you see them in the stands, I'll tell you what, you should be awfully proud to say to your parent. If they support you at home, you know, I know you guys know a lot more than everybody else. Trust me, I know that. I know that really well. But still, they do. They're you know, it's very important. So, with that being said, I'm going to get on because I'm boring, and my wife said that we have a babysitter, and I have to get home on time. First thing I want to do is thank Rick. You know, Rick was in a tough position. You know, he had a guy like me walk in here, I storm in the locker room, I kind of sit my rump down and say, here, I'm the new coach, and he's looking at me like, and I've been in that exact same position. And I'll tell you what, it's not a good feeling, because you don't understand what's going on and why things are going on the way they are. And after the first practice, I think he was ready to hit me with his hockey stick as bad as the kids were. And quite frankly, I don't blame him. I have a unique way of coaching, and that is that I kind of do it my way. Some people don't agree with that, but that's just the way it is. It's the only way I know how to do it. And I think the one thing about Rick is that he was dedicated. He was at every practice, I think. He was at most all the games he could be at. And the kids really like this guy. Okay, so that means that we're batting 500. But seriously, he was a good role model in the locker room. He once in a while he'd get mad, and I think it meant something to him when he got mad or said something or you know, got on him. But he was definitely a good role model, and I appreciate it. Thanks. The other guy that helped me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. He helped me out with a lot of things, and that's John Smith. And then there's another guy that helped me out a lot, and I really appreciate it, and that was Mark Thomas. And of course, the scorekeeper guys, they really did a great job. Gary back there, Joe Owens. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot you were over there. And also, I can't go without saying something to my friend over here, Tom. Me and him had a great time. You know, Don is right. I came in, I made a couple of deals when I came in. And one was that I wasn't going to ride the bus. Bad things happen when coaches ride the bus.
Enough said.
I couldn't resist, okay? It was just a little hard. Is that good? Mark's not happy. But no, actually it's because I want to spend more time with my kids at home, and that time frame, any minute that I can get is important to me, and that's the honest reason why. It was nothing to do with the kids, the program. I just decided that wasn't it. The other thing was that I didn't really want to get too involved with the parents. And a lot of people say, oh boy, here goes this guy up here on a parent ticket. It's not that at all. The time frame that we had, I didn't think it was important that I got to know everybody to the nth degree. I thought it was going to be challenging enough to get to know these kids, to coach them, take on 15 different personalities, and try to win, which I did. Okay? That was a joke.
Ed McMahon.
You know how. But anyways, so that was basically it. The nice thing about Tom and John both is they filtered everything through. Anything that you said as parents was brought to me in a professional manner. So please don't take it negatively that I didn't want to get to know you folks, because I really do. It's just that, to me it was just too much to do. So I appreciate both these guys doing that. It helped me out a tremendous amount. And Mark, I'm sure you got your share. I know you don't get very many bad phone calls, but I'm sure you get your share. I appreciate that. With that being said, let's get on with the player stuff here. The first guy I want to talk about was just a hard-nosed player. That's the way I explain it. This kid is tough. He's just a gritty little guy. And I'll tell you something, he's going to be a good hockey player down the way. He's already a decent hockey player, and I told him this. But he's going to be even better down the way. It's because he's just a tough little snot. Okay? I mean, I don't know how else better to put it. He's one of those kids that just, when you say something to you, he has that look in his eye like, Coach, I love you to death. But he worked very, very hard. He has a great future here. He has to develop a few more parts of his game. And I think he's there. But honestly, guys, this kid, you're going to hear a lot of in the next 3 years. He's going to be a contributor. He brings a great intensity to the game. And I just had a joy coaching him. That's all I have to say. Roger, come on up.
All right.
Nice kid is just was just a nice kid. Every team has to have a nice guy. I think you got a nice guy, right? We have a nice guy too. He kind of reminds me of my wife. Remember how nice I told you this kid was? The kid worked his fanny off all season. He played hard. He was a joy to coach and to be around. He had sort of a sense of humor to him. He always corrected me. I remember I used to get names wrong, which I'm not good with names. This guy, I'd be on the bench during a game and I'd say the name wrong, and he'd say, Coach, it's not Scalia, it's Scalia or something. And I'm like, I don't care what his name is, just get out there.
Oh, really?
Then another time, I walked in the locker room, and I always try to pop with, man, I'm bringing this Diet Pepsi with me. He says to me, he says, hey, Coach, it's before games. Didn't your wife go grocery shopping this week? I'm thinking, what is going on here? He says, your pop, man, you drink Dr. Pepper, you're drinking Diet Pepsi. I was like, that's pretty good. But he's a good kid, he's a nice kid, and he was fun to be around. He always had a smile on his face. Mike Harrison.
Good morning.
The next guy was just a very hard-working kid. A coach loves a quiet kid. Loves quiet kids. Loves quiet kids. Those kind of players that just come to the game, to practice, they say about one word. They don't do a whole, they work hard. I mean, it's just a joy to be around, isn't it, Coach? Yeah. All right. There's two on my side. This guy, in my opinion, is a natural leader. He has a great future ahead of him. You can just tell by being around the kid. I wish I could meet his parents because they've done just one heck of a great job in raising this young man. He has a smile. He carries himself professionally. Very mature for his age, for being in the grade he's in. It's just a joy to be around. Whenever he said something, it was always positive. Didn't say too much. As an underclassman, it's always tough to step up to the plate, but I think this kid, he's just a great kid. He has a smile on his face. Like I said, his father told me, he says, "You're never going to rattle this guy. You'll never, that's another conversation. You'll never get him under his skin. You'll take anything." You know, we had a lot of fun with him. I can recall one game, and we're sitting there. I don't know if we were winning or losing. It didn't really matter. And this ref comes over and he says, calls a penalty on old Chuckster here. And he comes skating by, and I said, that was great. And he looks at me like, what's your problem now? I said, that's great. Do you realize you gave the penalty to the nicest guy on our team? It's the first one all season. I can't be happier right now. Chuck looks at me like, "Coach, are you sick?" But that was it. That was the only penalty. That's the only thing bad I have to say about it. That's it. One penalty all season. Chuck had one penalty. I don't know, maybe he had more than that. He's just a great kid to be around. I understand he's going up to Michigan Tech. Is that right? Good for him. I understand he's a great student. Good for him. That's outstanding. But it was just a joy, Chuck. I liked having you around. You got a great sense of humor. You got a good future ahead. Oh boy, we're getting down now. Experience. You guys had your guppy. Was that the penalty guy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well we had one too, folks. Wait a second. Could you check and see if we won? We won. We had more penalty minutes, Coach. Next year, you're on. I'll tell you what. This guy came with a tremendous amount of intensity. The problem is he couldn't quite harness it, and it wasn't a challenge for me, to be honest with you. I've coached guys like this before. In a way, as a coach, and I'm sure Coach can attest to this, is you add a little extra for the team. The first award is a sportsmanship award. This young man was just a great kid. I talked about him earlier. Nice kid, nice guy, always a smile on his face. It was just a pleasure to be around. And I don't even think there's a question who deserves this award when it comes to sportsmanship. Chuck, come on.
Awards are wonderful, and awards signify achievement, but at the same time, people need other people in order to receive awards. And the Northview Hockey Boosters senior athletes fill out applications. We have a number of athletes who are qualified, who are deserving of this, and we have a board that reviews these, and the board kind of puts their heads together and makes a vote, and the person who receives this award is pretty typical, I think, of the personality of this team. A person who has been selfless, a person who shows up on a daily basis, a person who, a person who models, what he believes in and does anything he can do to help his teammates. And I'm pleased to announce that Charlie Lennox is here this As a matter of fact, Charlie does get to take a plaque with him, and then we have a commemorative trophy that remains in the high school that his name will be engraved upon. So, and lastly, I would just like to say, it does my heart well to sit through these things and realize that this can still take place, because that's our goal, and I think it worked together in a very positive atmosphere. So, thank you to everyone concerned, the athletic department, as I said before, and we'll turn it back over to Jen.